Live.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome again to another Kollective Foundations for that weekly lunch hour. We're excited to have all of you with us today. Today we have another special guest. We have Miss Amanda Hammons, Chair of the Beckley Day Center Board of Directors and a passionate community advocate. Okay, she's going to bring a lot of information about, well, I'll say it like this. The topic today will be poverty, mental health and recovery service providers and connects. Sorry about that. From there, sit back, grab a snack or something like that, a drink, maybe a notepad with a pen so you can take some notes down on some useful information, and I will pass it on to Ms. Amanda.
Well, thank you much for having me here today. I actually work with the Beckley Day Center as in-kind. We volunteer. We've been open since December 1st. Yes, we have served over 250 guests with the sanctuary, and those individuals also come in for showers with hygiene items provided, snacks, clothing. The main thing that I think is really important about the Beckley Day Center is that it offers a moment of sanctuary. So for the individuals that we serve and the economic struggles that they're facing in the community, whether they be persons that are unhoused or persons that have just faced circumstances that put them in a situation of needing support from the community, they experience a various degree of mental health impacts, just feeling unsafe or insecure. The concerns of poverty are something that have been studied for years. The impacts of poverty on a person's mental health can be everything from stress to anxiety. It can cause also health conditions, and those individuals come in, feeling like they're at the bottom of their rope. And so offering them sanctuary and giving them hope has really made an impact. We see people come in, feeling down, eyes down, really kind of afraid to ask for the things that they need. A couple of weeks, and I'm tracking this to see if I can get some numbers on it, because I think compassionate care actually has a scientific impact to it on mental health, on a person that doesn't feel safe.
So is there any night session that y'all do for them to house them for like nighttime?
I would love to say that we could. Currently at this time we are a day center, so we're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 3. So because we're in kind, we have a board member active at site with various volunteers assisting us in the process of it. We can't offer any overnight shelter. We do, however, offer storage of their specific documents. So if a person is unhoused and they have an ID or social security card or something else very important and special to them, we can store and file that for them. We also have lockers for their personal items if they'd like to store something in a locker, and they can access it again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we also offer a certificate of residency, which I think is very important, because if a person's trying to get housing or employment, or they have lost their ID, they can use this as a proof of residency to receive mail, and then get their ID or take the next step in wellness.
Okay, that's
I just wanted to know, I would do like a tour of the place itself, so the community can really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times seeing vision is, we can talk it, but the vision itself, it helps us to connect with people. And so I say me personally, I'd like to go in to see how it's ringing. If nobody cared, if you're the director, you don't care, I'll go in one day and see how it's ringing, because we may have other resources that y'all can use, and that's important, especially in different communities with churches. So if we get them out helping, that's a blessing.
Yes.
And so that's what I think y'all want to do.
Absolutely. Yes, that's very important to us. So at the Day Center, we act as a hub for local providers that already offer services under poverty, mental health, and recovery. We do navigation through societal concerns as far as applications, Wi-Fi, access to computers, telephone access. However, we don't offer the services in-house. Other providers come through. So we have a rotating schedule for any person offering services that wants to serve the community to come in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Our board meets once a month, so we discuss how that would work as far as rotation. And then service providers also have access to a back office to meet with the individuals if they need to have private time with them. Yes.
So this is just through the week, but no weekends, no
Yes.
Saturdays or Sundays or nothing like that. They're just through the week.
Sadly, I
Just
have to
weekday.
say that's how we operate at this time,
Understand.
due to the amount of staff that we have, and then the lack of funding. So in kind, everything that we have is actually volunteer and donation.
Oh, okay.
So we've received an extreme amount of support from the community as far as individuals that think these persons, need basic necessities and want to support us in that route.
I understand.
Yes.
I just kind of mentioned churches, but because a lot of times you have so much stuff going on in churches that the community, like you said, community, sometimes we have to reach them.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not half, but all of them. If we gonna stick to our word, then our word should be a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
To the point where they say, well, we're gonna help. But if they don't know, they won't understand what's going on.
That's very
So
true.
it takes people like us to be here to have conversation with you, being able to let us go out here and to these churches, send brochures to them so they can know. So that it won't say that we saying you don't know, because you know. If I send you a paper and I know you did, so you can't say, oh, I didn't see that, but you did. So everybody has to be accountable, and that's important to what you're doing, because it's a big job. I'm sure it's a very big job. It's got to be a great, a big job. And so that's where you're going to try to pick up the volunteers at in some of the churches.
Well, can you also give us that story that you had? I mean, if you are willing to give us that story that you had about how you started.
Well, I know I'm meant to, because I have chills all over my body. So, I came back home in 2016, and I was given a mission. So, and that was just little roadblocks along the way to let me know that I was doing the right thing. This is one of the stopping grounds for that. Before the location was secured, which we have to thank Robert Dunlap for that. He offers us that location for in kind at this time until we secure some funding and are able to grow. But we know that the services are needed. Now, I knew the services were needed before the majority, I think, of Beckley.
Right.
Although we see these individuals outside, do we know their names? Do we know their stories? Do we know why they're there? Do we know why that look is on their face? We had a conversation with them about, what happened to get them there. So I took it upon myself to use my vehicle as an outreach supply. And
Praise God.
I had Band-Aids, supplies for harm reduction, as well as snacks, socks, sweaters. I used to do the Spread the Warmth project before we opened the day center. So that was from November to February. We would set up in the bike trail, and we would use my vehicle to keep soup warm. Partnered with Carpenter's Corner at that time, and we'd give out warm soup. You bring the food and the people will come.
Yeah.
We had many beautiful conversations with people. And I will say again on the impact I was talking about with compassion, when it's not just offering something that they need, it's showing them that you're offering them love and compassion, that you do in fact care.
Right.
And so they'd come back and they'd ask for information and they'd want to know how to get, something else that they need. And it took a couple contacts for that to happen. Now when a person was ready and did in fact need help and that impact had made a difference, someone would tell me, John Doe's looking for you. Well, I'd drive around and look for John Doe. I'd sit at the gas station and I couldn't find him. 3 days later I'd see him and, well, he wasn't ready then, or he'd lost hope, or something else had happened and he was in some more trouble. And so that's the part that really signifies why we need the central location. We're at 208 Main Street sublevel. It's the alley entrance behind and underneath of Soul Food. Red door, red awning. And again, that location has really helped us build everything that we're doing inside. People know where to come when they need it. A lot of people don't know that we're there, like such as the churches, because we're just a few people trying to pull together all the sources that we have. It seems like every time I turn around, we don't have socks or we don't have snacks.
Running out of stuff.
Yeah, yes, and so it's difficult for me to have time to network. So I appreciate you having me here today to do this.
Now, how did you get that soup on for the people?
We had a 3-tier crock pot, and I had a plug for my belt pull with an extension cord that would keep the seat
To your person.
to my car. Yes,
Praise
ma'am.
God. That's smart thinking.
Well, it's whatever you have.
Now,
to do.
how long was that when you did that? When you did that, you know, when you got the notion to venture out into something like that? How long was that? Was it a month, 2 months, 3 months?
Oh.
How long did you
November to February for 3 years we did that.
How many years?
For 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, the Spread the Worm project was pretty
Spread
large.
the- That's a lot, Mike. 3 years. First time I've heard.
I've been doing outreach out of the back of my vehicle since 2018.
2018.
I did it very quietly because I never wanted to bring attention to the population, and I definitely didn't want to not be welcome doing what I was doing. And honestly, there's no reason to bring, advertisement to it when you're doing so. But what I did realize, which I do have to note on, is that the point of this nonprofit is that in order for us to sustain it and be able to continuously offer what we have and make a lasting impact, we do need support. So, understanding how many of the population actually are in need and understanding how many bodies it takes to actually serve them, did take for me to start, counting how many people there were, how many impacts and what the real need was. So we've served over 250 people since December 1st. Yeah. Every individual that's come there has received sanctuary, snacks, and the showers just opened in June, which we're really excited about. We offer those 1 day a week. It's a wonderful thing. I don't know if you all believe in vibe, but the entire atmosphere just changed in that room. When people got to get clean and feel at home and feel safe for a moment, and they come out and their facial expressions change, their whole mood. It was a very beautiful thing to watch happen.
That's so wonderful to know that you've done that. This was on your own, right? You done that on your own. That you had that notion on your own to do it from your car. I mean, nobody prompted you or nothing like that. That was just coming from you.
It was God's mission. I can't give credit to myself for
Okay,
that. And people often tell me that I'm going to burn out, since I've been doing this, for years now. And I've prayed before, to make sure that I don't burn out, that I still have the energy to keep going. But it's not over yet. There's just a next stage to it. And eventually you do a little less work and make a larger impact. And that's when you bring the people in. That's when the people support the cause and you've shared more about what you're doing and where the needs at. But no, sir, I haven't really had a lot of support until the Beckley Day Center. So it was hit and miss. I think that the biggest thing about me trying to organize volunteers in Beckley is realizing that everybody has their own life and they have their own missions and they have their own purpose and they have their own families. And and it's such a small town, we're all in economic strain right now. So everybody's, back and forth to work, trying to make ends meet, it's just always a go-go. So I have no harsh feelings about doing it solo. I was given the ability to have the time to do it, and I'm grateful to serve.
That's wonderful. Now, did you ever have any altercations, where you had to be protected or, things like that? We don't want you to have to feel threatened, but, did you ever have anything like that to happen?
No, I believe a little differently about the community that we serve. I think that individuals are majorly scared and uncomfortable, and they feel less connected. So it makes them seem as though they are separated, which I'm sure that's something that you don't understand, maybe something that you want to fear in some cases, but I have been serving the community from my vehicle since 2019 and I have never felt afraid. I have never been in a situation where someone acted irate towards me or offered anything but kindness, a lot of eye contact. I've had a lot of people very close to me, and I've never felt afraid. Now, we are partnering up with the Sheriff's Department now because the city of Beckley does want us to have protection when we go into, let's say, the trails or maybe somewhere someone's camping. Yeah, so Sergeant Adkins, actually, at the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department, is organizing an event once a month. Any community member that serves the community in need is welcome to come. and we do outreach on the streets and in some of the walkways, and I can see the concern. You know, I can see why the city would think so, but I know the majority of the stories of the people that I've served throughout the years, and these individuals are not the problem. They are experiencing problems, you know, and the majority of their situations have been that they've lost their home, they've lost their job, they have a trade that no longer works in the economy, they've lost family members, you know, they came here for opportunity but wasn't able to make it, COVID, a lot of COVID impacts, a lot of individuals from rural areas that weren't able to make the ends meet, and I know who to call when I get in trouble. You know, I have a few people I can call and I can say, hey, you know, I'm in a hole, I really need some help. Imagine somebody that's in a rural area living in a home without a lot of service connection and without family to call on. And one bill adds up to another. Your taxes add up to another, there's a hole in the roof. You know, and next thing you know, you feel like it's just over for you. So that's a lot of the stories that we've heard from these persons. They are, you know, people that have a lot of training in trades that have worked their whole lives or taken care of family members. Yeah, so we're really grateful to offer the opportunity for persons to feel as though that they can reach their potential again and their purpose. I don't know if you guys would be surprised, but I think I've heard a lot of people say some indifference, I believe, about the populations that are economically challenged, but they're some of the most brilliant, inspired people I've ever met.
I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure they have.
You know,
They have been. And I'm sure they have been.
they are.
They have stories.
They do.
Stories to tell. And you know, I'm just saying, we're, you know, like we have a church, but the thing is, we're saying we need more information. I mean, I know y'all just been 7 months. The newspaper office, do they pitch in? Maybe we can make copies of, you know, free days.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm just saying this because I'm just saying because it hurts my heart to think, you know, knowing that it's a blessing, the communication is so lacking, and that's the sad part. Because even though, you know, you say I don't want to be burned out, you know, a lot of times our life changes, and we got different people in our life, and sometimes we have to go tend to kids, to go, you know, go here. I go to doctor's appointment, and then just to keep on putting this out here, we need more communication, more information, more information, and more people speaking. I know it's just us here, and today we're online, and I'm sure everybody can see that. But the thing is, you know, you've been told.
Yeah. We have an immense support from volunteers in the community. So because we primarily serve poverty, mental health, and recovery, we have a lot of people that have been impacted in some way that have found themselves stability in their life and they want to give back. So we have persons that dedicate their time, you know, on a weekly basis to support what we're doing. You know, it's not a lot of in-kind financial support, or you know, we struggle to get some of the items that we have on a daily basis. And I would love to not oversaturate the people that we have, you know, because you know, not everybody's gonna run themselves rampant, I suppose, with this cause. I don't know if it's if I'm ever gonna get tired. I just want to do it more efficiently, more effectively, and make a lasting impact. You know, I want to make sure that what we're doing is evidence-based, you know, so that the persons that we're serving get everything they need. And the support from the community is something that I think is really important, as you mentioned before, because there's so many people that want to serve, that want to give back, that see the need. You know, you can drive through Beckley and see the need, you know, and it's difficult for them to find places in which to be of service. So the Day Center is definitely a place to do that. We're actually a 501c3 public charity. So it makes it easy for people that want to give or want to serve to get involved in some way or another, because we're not for profit. We have no ends to meet. We only have the purpose to serve, and that's a continuous, you know, overalling basis.
So how do an individual you know, get in contact with your company, you know, with your cause? I mean, do you have a website? Do you have, you know, phone number? Or how do they get it? Can you tell them how to get in contact?
We actually do have a website, so it's going to be BeckleyDayCenter.org. BeckleyDayCenter.org. We have a Facebook under Beckley Day Center. It's a private page, but you can follow and see everything that we're doing. And then we have an email. You can contact me at Amanda@BeckleyDayCenter.org, or the entire directors board at directors@BeckleyDayCenter.org. So you can contact us at any time. We also have a Gmail. We started out with just that, and we're able to secure a few things because I think people know what we're doing is important. You know, although the mission itself is the most important. So 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 9 to 3. People can drop in at any one of those times. We do like to make appointments with outside persons. Just
You said
because
Monday, Wednesday, and what time?
9 to 3.
9 to 3.
Mhm.
9 to 3. Okay.
Yes. We do try to make appointments with people from organizations or from churches coming to visit, just so that our participants, our guests, feel safe and secure, and they know what's going on. Because they come in there to feel safe,
That's good.
for a moment. And
They don't want to feel threatened.
no,
Yeah.
and we don't use their names at the
Absolutely.
day center. We actually, everybody gets assigned a digit, and that way they can refer to that on their sign-in sheet, and they can feel private and safe about what they're utilizing.
But this is a great session tonight. We're happy to have you, and you're giving us some great insight. I mean, because I had never heard of it before. This is my first time. I didn't have somebody say that they started this from their car. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. You have put a lot of input into that. Now, how far do you think you can go with what you're doing now? How far do you think that you can? How far do you want to go with what you're doing?
My goal, our goal as the board of directors, is to create a self-sustainable facility, an organization that continuously serves the community in need. And I will say that the economic strain is something that I have to mention again. We're all in a state now where many things are changing as far as our economy in our state. Cost of living, cost of food, daily living for your family, transportation, just facing these type of circumstances suddenly. I mean, I myself am actually considered in poverty. I mean, many of us are. It's 1 in 5. Facing that and realizing the stories of the persons that we're serving, I think that it may get larger. Our community will need more service in the future, and it's nonprofits and organizations like yours and the churches that have been doing it for years. For years. Anytime that you look up, public charity and how the Indian community has been served, it's been served by service workers. Organizations and nonprofits that directly want that impact to have the necessities that they need, the basic necessities. I don't want to, jinx anything, but I do believe that the Beckley Day Center is proactive, and the need for the cause of the people is going to be needed more in the future. I would not like to say that the numbers are going to get larger, and I hope that we can meet people where they're at and give them what they need before they face being unhoused. But if by any chance, it does, we want to be ready for that. We want to be self-sustainable, and we want to be an entity that continues, throughout the years, because issues aren't going away. I mean, how many of us, struggle to meet our bills, or find transportation, or meet a struggle and don't know where to go. That's one of the biggest things is there's all these resources, right? The churches, the organizations that have been doing it for years. But if you are John Doe in an area in which you don't know how to access, the computer, the internet, you don't know how to navigate it. You call one place, they say they don't have that resource, and it feels very discouraging, very discouraging. That's one of the things that started me doing it in my car. I used to have a sheet that I would hang in the blessing boxes that had all the resources, the basics with the numbers next to them, so I could give them to people to make it a little bit easier. Because navigating the societal system is very frustrating.
Oh, I do.
It is, and it was hard for me. I thank God my grandma told me not to take no for an answer. Because I will ask them, do you know anybody else? You don't have it, but where do I need to go?
Right.
You know, I'm not afraid to
What do I need
ask.
to do?
Yes, and many people don't or don't know how. And so I promised that I would never let anybody else feel that alone.
That's wonderful.
Because that was really difficult for me.
And the way it looks now, it looks like that today have impacted us.
Mm.
And I'm sure the people online, it have impacted them to get to the point where they say, what I need to do.
Mm.
How can I help? And saying this and saying a letter going out to the community,
Mm-hmm.
a headed letter going out to the, and we need to sometimes continue to ask for things because we never ask, we're not gonna get it. But if we keep on striving to say, we got your resources for unhoused people or whoever step in there. You got Dominican for many things that we don't even know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's true.
they don't want to see because it's like step out of their comfort zone. We get too comfortable, then we it's just about us.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff is not all this is us. It could be our kids,
Mm-hmm.
our mom, our dad. It could be your cousins, anybody could be to impact their life. And then we don't want to do anything until that happened to us. Shame on you.
That is true.
Shame on you. Shouldn't have to get to that point to say, well, he was happy, he ain't have nowhere to go. But where's people at? And you can't tell me. You know what I'm saying? So we'll keep on praying, but we just, thank you. Just we learned a lot. It filled me up to know, because I was telling my husband, I said, we need to do something. People out there, they ain't got no place, you know what I'm saying? And it takes us, and they can say a village, it can take a whole city.
It does.
That's so true. But we agree with you, and we're gonna help. We'll wait, and Don, we know Donica would help. To say, well, if the people do showers and baths and eat whatever, and they could probably send here for education point,
Yes.
get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it's really set up to get back on track.
Now, can you explain to us again about the showering? Because see, some people, they're kind of shy.
Yes.
When they come to something like that, they don't want to be
Right.
in a facility that they think maybe they might be harmed or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Can you explain more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a board of directors that opens the day center on Wednesdays at 9, and that's when we start our showers. The word's already spread, so we give about 12 showers a week. That 12 showers on Wednesday. The persons come in and just sit down. There's a TV projector where they watch TV. They charge their phone. They get a snack. They fill out a clothing order. They get their clothes. All the hygiene and towels are set up on the table. Everybody.
All this is for free.
All this is in kind, yes,
They
ma'am.
get to use it. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes. We have
Amazing.
some dedicated volunteers.
Amazing.
Nikki
Amazing.
Farley and Sunny they run the closet for us. So they fill those orders for them. It was a little bit messy in the beginning. Like, we know we need to get clothes before the shower. So those things we didn't think about,
I like that.
Yeah, but we figured it out. And now everybody that comes is more or less regular. If somebody new comes in, for instance, they just need to fill out what's called a shower policy, which states, at this time you're stating that you're taking a shower at the Beckley Day Center, and we're not liable for anything that happens on this property because they go in the bathroom by themselves. We don't monitor or watch anything.
Right.
If a person has a handicap, we actually have another option for them, and they get longer times in the showers. Yes. And so, and then in that sense, a person will come in, they'll fill that out, and then they will sign their name or their number, because they're assigned a number once they become a guest of the Beckley Day Center. They don't have to use their name.
Wow.
And then the list comes up and they say, 246, it's your turn in the shower. They just go in the shower and take a shower. Their items are actually watched by one of our volunteers during that time, just in case they don't feel safe.
So is this for families or just individuals?
It's 18 and up, so we can't serve any person under 18.
Under 18 years old. Okay.
So did the snacks they get, which I'll just bag them, the snacks that they just have a bag ready.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really neat.
We run out. Like today, we had to drive to Charleston because we have a foundation there that does donate to us, but it goes really fast. You know, people are hungry, but everybody gets a snack bag every day when they come in. So it's usually like a chip, a noodle, a dessert, and then a drink.
I'm kind of shifting it ever so slightly because I'm a little bit curious. So kind of talking about individuals possibly wanting to start their journey and helping individuals and things like that, and being the way that you started your journey. What do you say about, like, where do you recommend people to go or to do to start their journey? Like, what do you feel is like a good starting point if they would like to just actively go out in the community and help people?
To be of service?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's many churches that do service in the community. Getting connected with some kind of outlet that you found meets your purpose. Like I said, the Sheriff's Department's also doing outreach at this time. There's a couple other organizations, mental health and recovery-based facilities that do outreach. Just kind of tying in, I think, to what speaks to you and finding a way to give back in that means. We do outreach from the day center actually too. So on Tuesdays when we're not open, we act as a hub where, you know, we can fill it's actually Aaron Hornsby from Recovery and Outreach. He fills a container full of water and outreach supplies and walks throughout the community with local organizations. We haven't done it a lot, so I mean, if a person would like to get involved in that sense, it would be really helpful.
Was that y'all walking around with a cooler the other day?
Yeah.
Okay, I seen y'all just the other day, right out front, yep.
Yeah.
A big group of people, right? With a cooler, yep. I did see y'all.
I've never seen it before.
I just didn't know, but okay, now it's coming together. Gotcha.
I know the city shared that they have a little bit of fear of us, you know, serving the community in need. Just for safety concerns, for, you know,
Absolutely.
whatever reason. And I want to take that into account and say, you know, what's happening with the Sheriff's Department is wonderful, because not only are we safe, but we're also letting the persons that we serve know that they're safe, and the city in turn, you know.
That's true. Yes.
So getting involved, they could reach out to us if a person ever wanted to get involved in service work and be for the community in need. The day center is always looking for ways for people to participate. We also offer peer recovery hours. So in order to be a peer recovery support specialist, this is how I started out before I became a counselor. You can get 500 hours, which is volunteer or work, serving the community.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's really good. We do that. We take some interns that are also looking for volunteer hours, and they can run courses with us. We have a couple other individuals that are in legal-based programs or may need to keep their WIC program. Those volunteer opportunities are also offered. We can track all of that and turn it in for them. We're always looking for new ideas too, you know.
So the phone number that they can use?
Yes, 304-222-9837.
Y'all put it up there at the end too. So
Yeah,
it's all
good,
good stuff.
good,
So
yeah.
Now, in dealing with people with substance abuse and recovery, you know, from addiction, do y'all deal with people in that aspect of life too as well? I mean, you know.
We do, yeah. So we're connected to and participating with many local organizations that already offer the services, and statewide as well. You know, some of the mentions are Pyramid, FMRS, Wise Path, Harmony Ridge, and we will either call on one of these participating organizations that we have and get a direct route for them to get transportation directly to rehabilitation. So it's 48 people have sought inpatient recovery treatment since December 1st from the
That's good.
You are amazing. That is amazing.
It's not, that's not me. None of this is just me. Honestly, the fact that we're a hub allows for us to offer a space. You know, you build it, they'll come. So we have the space, and the people are already out there wanting to serve the community or have a position in employment that they're serving the community in recovery. So just having those relationships and building those connections are really important for us, because we believe, like I said, poverty, mental health, and recovery connect. You know, these are matters that are faced by the same individuals that we serve, and sometimes intertwine. It either started out with poverty and became mental health, which then became substance, or vice versa, or a mix of all three, or one or the other that connected all three. And so connecting these service providers that offer all of these services allows for lasting impact with the persons. And understanding it's not just one problem, it's several problems that this person's faced.
That's right.
And these organizations that we participate with understand that too, you know, and we're all kind of voicing that together. There's a bit of a movement happening with the connection between understanding that poverty, mental health, and recovery are all intertwined, you know. And I will say, from the people that we serve that are in recovery or have faced addiction, there's something else that is going on. They didn't just wake up one day and say, I would like to use in my life to be a mess. They faced something like a loss of employment, you know, some type of mental health condition, some kind of health condition, or we're just so strained by the
stress.
Yes. Poverty's been proven to give you mental health conditions and to make it difficult for you to feel as though you can even do the next thing, you know, let alone ask for help, you know. And then so when we went through the opioid epidemic, and God please allow for that to be some freedom from that, you know, we're down on overdose rates right now, which is a blessing, but we may lose naloxone pretty soon. The everyone primarily knows it as Narcan. The federal government won't be funding it, potentially, depending on the legislation. I hate to see what happens to overdose rates at that time, but the persons that we're serving tell us about the fact that these are their real life stories, you know, but it was so saturated. And something happens, and I will say, you know, as an SUD counselor, something happens to your brain when you take a substance. You immediately release dopamine. So that is the receptor in our brain that gives us the thing that makes us want to get up in the morning. That feeling of good. What makes the sunshine look pretty. What gives you energy to get up and eat your breakfast. It's what you feel when you have a conversation with another person. You know, you get a little bit of dopamine. That's a happy chemical, right? That's what makes us human. That's what gives us empathy. And when you take a substance during a time of struggle, you release a lot of dopamine. And then you feel like everything's okay. Everything's okay again. Oh my gosh, like nothing bad is even happening just for a day, right? But what happens then is the receptors in your brain have released so much that the normal amount can't be produced again. So then when you wake up a day later and we talk about people, you know, like, why do they look so different? Why are they acting so different? What's going on? They don't have the human chemical. They don't have the happy chemical to make them feel connected to anything. And then the only thing that they know at that point to make them feel better is to do it again. And that's the sad cycle that happens with individuals that, you know, that suffer from substance use. It's really a lot of chemical interactions that's happening that they don't know is happening to them. They don't know that. They're not aware of the fact that they're being controlled by brain chemicals. They really think their life's okay. And then they really don't know why it's not. And they really don't know what to do to make it stop.
To get it fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the truth of it. Yeah.
That's a lot. And then facing mental health is, you know, definitely, like she has mentioned, not an easy process. Especially, they may not know when to take their medicine.
Right.
They get off their medicine because they don't have it. I can't afford it. And, you know, you go to the drugstore, of course, they're not going to give it to you. The drugstore, not if you don't have no prescription.
Right.
And saying that, you know, even them at home with mental health, if the medicine's not took on time, you see a different person, like you were saying about that, see a different person. We just, you know, the resources just going to get bigger because we don't have a choice.
That's so true. I think that West Virginia is being a bit proactive when it comes to mental health services, and I'm really grateful to see that happening. So I have some numbers here. According to the 2025 survey conducted by the National Alliance Mental Health Illness, approximately 367,000 West Virginians suffer from mental health illness. That's 1 in 5 of every person that experiences mental health every year. That's you and that's me. Right? There's 5 people at this table. So my name is Amanda Hammons, and I myself am a person that suffers from mental health conditions. And I'm not sure where it started. I don't know if it was, you know, poverty as a child. I don't know if it was impacts of occurrences that happened that are core memories for me. You know, I have a therapist that I speak to that helps me work through some of those things, you know, and not to mention, I mean, the daily stress of the lives that we live. I mean, everybody can use somebody to talk to.
Absolutely.
You know,
most
I'm a
definitely.
big fan of therapy because I don't think that we can process everything that happens to us on a daily basis, especially our young ones, or if you didn't as a young one and you become an adult with the same issues.
Oh, yeah.
So when I say mental health, I don't mean the extremes.
Right.
I mean the daily difficulties of anxiety and depression, you know, and just, you know, waking up and not knowing why you feel different, or having something really extreme happen to you, like during COVID when everybody lost their jobs. That's when our mental health truly declined. We were separated from other individuals, lack of resources, lack of human contact, and mental health declined extremely at that time. And I think that it is every 1 in 5 people, but many of us don't, we just kind of make it through and kind of, you know, white knuckle whatever's going on, you know.
Hold on for the ride.
I'm a big fan of self-care too. Like, if I'm spending, you know, 35, 45 hours of my week working to make money to support the things that I need, like let's say, you know, a healthy home, and then when am I getting time to enjoy that healthy home?
Work-life
You know?
balance.
Yeah, there needs to be a balance there that I feel like I'm giving myself love and care, and that costs more than anything could ever pay me. So it's taken a while for me as a student and as a counselor and working with a nonprofit to balance that out, but I realize you can't pour from an empty cup. So that's when mental health, I think, really comes in for people, is when we're not giving ourselves what we need, or we're not listening to our body or our minds, or we don't have someone else to talk to about it. And that's a lot of the people that we serve, you know, and God forbid that they just say, you know, 10 degrees below. So when the warming shelter was open, every day we was at 7 a.m. We would walk over and bring the people over with us and then just sit there for during the day.
And this is something, you know, we need to hear. Because we never hear, you know, you never hear about the process of what goes on in the Women's Center, the other, you know, place. And this is a good thing because you're letting them people know we're there, we help them.
Yeah.
While y'all sit at home, we help them.
Now, could you one more time give us the numbers that you have given out things? You know, can you give us some more numbers? You know what I'm saying, of some of the things that you have given out, or do you have a number?
Well, I'll be completely honest. Some of the data cannot be publicly released in a presentation without approval from international review board. I'm waiting currently on that approval, and as soon as that I receive it, you know, we do plan to going back to council and then to the county as well.
I understand.
I do think that they understand what we're doing and know that there's a large impact, and that the moment that we're able to present this is right on time. Of course, I want to do it now, you know.
we don't want you to go over the top there.
Yes, I can say, you know, approximately
it's
200.
not, the numbers are not low though.
No, it's over 250 people since December 1st.
Okay.
So that's 888 impacts open through the warming shelter days, and then 3 days a week after that. So that's approximately 12 people a day that we serve.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
We didn't know about the Warming Center, but we didn't know about the day where like they come
The day
there.
center.
They can come and sit in there, with, you know, eat something or whatever. We didn't know about that part.
The Beckley Day Center, yes ma'am.
So now in West Virginia help me, Mike, if I'm correct, there's no more homeless shelter.
No, sir.
Oh, no.
You don't know that either, Mike?
I don't.
Mike, we
In West Virginia, or you mean in Beckley?
in Beckley, you know, here in
Beckley.
Raleigh County.
It might be
We're in Raleigh County. That's the county
We're
we're
in
in.
Raleigh County, yes sir.
So is there no more homeless shelter?
No. The Raleigh County Homeless Shelter did close its doors.
Closed down
And
completely.
I think it was the end of June. And so there's a shelter in Charleston, West Virginia, but they are full. When the shelter closed here in June, we made direct connection with them, of course, to try to offer some kind of transportation for persons that were facing it, and they were already full.
They said it's really
amazing.
not like Beckley. They said I got a friend down there. It's nothing. It's bad.
So
Yeah, there's
crowded.
a lot.
Because
There's
there's
a lot.
nowhere to put them. It's, you know, so crowded.
So
Nowhere to put them at, you know.
Yeah, and I have to say again, it was a very small percentage of people that we served that weren't from here. That, you know,
You mean
they've lived here for 17 to 50 some years.
They had people that come from another county. Or
That, I
another
think that was a lot of concern, I think, with, you know, having a shelter or having a day center is that, you know, why attract more people? You know, our city already has some stability. You know, why bring in more people in need? But through conversations and, you know, a lot of surveys that I can't yet release, these individuals are primarily from here. Very small percentage of persons that were not. And those persons had came here either for, you know, family. A lot of people came, you know, to take care of a family member during COVID and then lost their family member, which makes them primarily not from here, but born here. So there's a lot of that. But yes, from Raleigh County, Raleigh County is a lot larger than you think. And in some of these rural areas that we have, you know, Charleston serves everybody. We try to make sure that we're serving Raleigh County and Beckley right here in Beckley. And the persons that we serve at the day center, they live here already. Some of the persons that we serve are not even homeless. They're just persons that live in income-based housing in the area, and they sit uptown, you know, and kind of hang out at some of the parks and whatnot. So it gives them a nice, safe, cool place or warm place to be. And that's really nice to have that, just because, you know, uptown is business. Uptown is, you know, where all the growth and such happens. And I want them to feel welcome and not like they're just being stared at.
So Mike said that he saw y'all. Were y'all passing out water?
They been passing out water or food or something.
Passing out water.
Big old cooler too. I was admiring the cooler. That's why I remember.
Thank you.
We gotta go to Sheets and just give out water.
We walk all around the bike trail and some
Okay.
of the local places that we know that people are sick.
See, I'm that one
Now,
about
water is so important right now. Y'all, it's so hot out there. It is so hot.
Thank you for that. That's a wonderful job.
It was actually Dillard Lawson's idea. He gave me that cooler as a gift when Carpenter's Corner closed down.
Okay.
And
Is it
told-
mobile? Is it?
Yeah, it's just a pull along.
The cooler really is a sizable cooler.
You've got wheels on it and a handle.
What is the cooler? Hey, well, what?
I was thinking about that particular day we found out, like, two of my Nana's, like, main coolers, like, it wasn't that particular day, but it had me thinking about it, like, she used them for some event, and after that event, they ain't been nowhere to be found, so we need some new coolers.
Okay.
And so I was admiring.
Oh, you just brought up an event. I have to talk about that.
Yes.
So last year I started the event called Keep Writing Your Story. It's an awareness of suicide prevention recovery outreach. It started at the Beckley Freedom Park, which is the skate park here in Beckley off Eisenhower. And we have a skate competition, which is sponsored by Very Rare Vintage. They bring individuals that compete in skating from surrounding counties. Last year we had 30 skaters. This year I hear that it's tripled. So that's going to be wonderful. There's a competition there. Yeah, all ages are welcome. Just bring your board.
No more.
I ain't got the ankles for that.
No more.
I ain't got the knees for that.
No more.
So you can just, you know, have on some skates and just cruise around. Yes. We also have 7 local bands that are serving with us. They started with us last year and it rolled over again. We're going to have real life speakers telling their stories of survival and impact and strength. We've got 21 service providers setting up the organizations to support the recovery, poverty, and mental health in the community. And we're going to have the CERT fire truck simulation, so for kids to show them how to escape from a firehouse. Yeah, we'll have the Beckley PD will be there supporting the kids, showing them how to, you know, get in a car and push buttons, and hopefully or promote to them what it's like to be a police officer. We actually have air evac landing a plane landing a helicopter on the Babe Ruth field this year, so kids can take a picture with them and then meet an officer. So it's kind of an employment opportunity too, because you've got these youth. This event started primarily to attract 14 to 18, that kind of like gap where these persons listen to music and hang out with their friends and maybe high impact. And it's grown into more than that. It now serves adults as well, and everybody brings their family. And there'll be face painting, food trucks. There'll be some free food too. And it's just a beautiful mezzo impact, if you'll allow me. because people come to the event and see the support that we have, and then they go out and trickle off into their own events or inspire one another. This year's actually going to help us raise some funds for the Beckley Day Center, so that'll get us through the winter.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful.
When is that?
It's July 26th from 10 to 6.
Oh, that's coming.
Yeah.
That's here July 26th.
Next weekend, next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Freedom State Park. Yeah.
Freedom State Park. Okay.
There'll be parking on site and it's free to enter.
Okay.
So there's a particular time to start?
At 10 o'clock's when the music starts. So it goes to 6.
10 o'clock in the day.
It's more like a festival. Yes.
10 to 6.
10 to 6.
10 o'clock in the day, the music starts.
Yes.
What are the bands?
We have Love and Depression, Rise from Nothing, Atheotic, John Bannett, and the Speed Wobbles.
Wow, she's knowledgeable.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are friends of mine. They're really good people. They like to serve the community. So.
Well, we have been so mesmerized by your content today, and it has been so uplifting. We can't thank you enough for coming our way, and we hope that this is not the last time you come and share with us.
Oh, thank you.
As well. Don Burton, the director here, he doesn't put anybody in front of us that he would not put in front of himself. So he thanks you as well, and we thank you for coming and being with us today. Now, we're not going to quote this real fast without you giving us your information one more time.
Sure.
That way they can know where you at and what are you doing.
You can reach me at amanda@beckleydaycenter.org or 304-222-9837. And you can learn more about the Beckley Day Center on our Facebook under Beckley Day Center. Look for the orange sun and outreached hands. And you can also visit our website at beckleydaycenter.org. Thank you for having me today.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you for coming.
I know I came in and thought, well, I'm going to have to read all this information. This has been a beautiful conversation. I can tell you all care about the community so much. That's what matters to us, is just participating and collaborating with people that want to serve.
So if anybody want anybody have donations,
Yeah,
maybe
women,
able to do that.
Yeah, so we take
about it.
donations. We do. We have quite a few specific clothing items that we always run out with, just undergarments and socks and so on, and then pre-wrapped snacks. Anytime anybody wants to donate to that, they can reach out to me and I can help organize it. Nikki takes care of a lot of that, and she just made a flyer, which I'll send to you, that puts her contact information. She'll come pick things up also. And do remember that we're a 501, so if there's an organization that wants to donate to us to serve the community, that helps a whole lot. We do have Kroger's giving us 8 packs of 80 water for just the heat wave that we have going on right now. So every now and then we'll get lucky like that.
That's great.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for things like that. I know that I'm gonna have to reach out. They said, you know about the guy. I may be speaking about you, sir. I don't know who you are, but I got told by a lady who used to work at United Way, trying to figure out where to bring food. A guy that goes around, he picks up all the food from like restaurants in the area and then disperses it to whoever needs it. And that could be like a good thing, but I'll have to reach out to that lady and figure out who that guy is, and then I can relay that information. Because from what I've been told, all the food has to be out within 2 weeks of expiring, and he tries to find places to take this food. He doesn't have enough places to take it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. And that could help a lot. I think the shelter used to do that, and then Carpenter's Corner did, and then now Salvation Army, they offer food every day at 11, which is really wonderful, except for the Saturday and Sunday, I think, So that's a good connection to make, but you'll have to forgive me. It's so hot in here. But donations is what we run off of completely. So anytime people that come in and they need something that we don't have, we try to look for it. So if any person is interested in just giving to the cause of the basic necessities for the people in need, please reach out.
So we'll let Mike do our closing.
All right, well, thank you for another week, or yeah, I'll say another week of Collective Foundations. For your lunch hour, I hope you enjoyed your lunch. I hope you took some notes, and I hope you go out into the community and pass something on. Do a little bit of good. Make somebody smile.
We all
Wonderful
give a
day.
little, no one goes without.